We're all set.
Sounds good. Well, excellent. Thank you everybody for joining us today for After School Nuggets. This has been a really fun thing that we've been doing for the past month now, and it's been really fantastic. We've enjoyed the opportunity to still be able to connect to so many providers all throughout the state. Today we're going to be talking about recognizing the after-school professional in your life during After-School Professionals Appreciation Week. My name is Ben Trumperman. I'm the Director of Operations at the Utah After School Network, and I'll be joined by Chaz. Chaz, go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, I'm an out school time specialist with UAN, and we're excited to again share everything about After School Professionals Appreciation Week to celebrate you guys.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Great. Next slide, please. So today we're going to be talking about the background of After School Professionals Appreciation Week, strategies and resources to celebrate and recognize the after school professional in your life. And we're going to have some time to break out for you all to brainstorm and discuss your own ideas for how you can celebrate After School Professionals Appreciation Week. And we are going to say the phrase After School Professional Appreciation Week at least 75 to 80 more times throughout this presentation. So brace yourselves for that. So starting out, this is a national advocacy day that we all get to be a part of. And this one is especially special because it's all about celebrating after-school professionals. There are an estimated 850,000 individuals working during out-of-school time hours. That's a lot of people that are paraprofessionals, that are after-school professionals, that are involved in after-school programs, library programs, community rec programs. This is about all of those people. We have a lot of individuals that are really dedicated to making sure that we're helping kids get the most out of their full day, and at that time, those imperative hours between 3 and 6 p.m. every day are really having a huge impact on the kids in our communities. We have a lot of dedicated individuals that are spending as much time as they can supporting youth, and especially right now, it's definitely a troubled time, I think, to be in any field, and particularly right now, we've seen a lot of our programs that have not been able to operate up to their full capacity. We know that there are a lot of staff that are out there that are really missing their kids right now, and a lot of kids that are really missing their after-school staff. You all play a hugely important role in their lives, and it's hard that we're missing out on those opportunities right now. And so it's a really important time to make sure that we're reaching out to express exactly how much the work that we do matters and how much we appreciate the individuals that have dedicated huge chunks of their lives and their time and everything to providing resources to kids. And right now we're actually seeing a lot of innovative practices, a lot of virtual opportunities, a lot of people that are really stepping up to the plate, understanding that there are a lot of needs that our kids are still going to have right now. And it's going to be really important that we're utilizing these relationships to provide some stability to the kids, and a small glimpse of normalcy is, you've all worked to build such strong relationships with these kids over time, and you can still bring some of that to these kids. And so we want to celebrate your dedication to the field. After School Professionals Appreciation Week is next week, April 20th through the 24th. So there are lots of opportunities to do things every day throughout the week. And we'll tell you about those right now.
All right. And so for you to successfully celebrate after school professionals, you need to have the right toolkit. So I love this quote. It says, think of the tools in your toolbox. You might have a hammer or pliers, a saw, screwdriver, ruler, nails and screws, but the function of words are diverse as the functions of these objects. So we want you to be diverse with how you guys celebrate After School Appreciation Week. So one thing, what's in your toolbox? So we want you guys to write in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and share what you've done previously to celebrate After School Professional Appreciation Week, and what tools did you use? So go ahead and take a minute to write in the chat box, or again, unmute yourself, because we want to hear some of the tools you've used or what you've done in the past to celebrate this event.
And we have a number of folks that we hear from that were not aware that this was a thing. So we're seeing some comments rolling in along those lines as well, saying this is our first year with the after school program. So I'm excited that there is a celebratory week and to hear what others have done. Somebody else here is saying, Susie Estrada, thanks for your comment. Food, I think, is my love language. And so having food for staff to enjoy, asking parents to help their children make thank you cards for their after school professionals.
That's great.
All great things.
I have to agree with Susie for sure. Food is definitely my love language as well.
Food is always good. Personal note to thank after school professionals. Fantastic strategies. And we do encounter a lot of people that had no idea that this is a thing. A lot of after school professionals are like boggled that there's a whole week dedicated to celebrating you and celebrating the work that you do. And we feel like, you know, we see the same for school day educators. And we know that you guys are all putting a lot of heart and emotion and care into the programs that you run, and you definitely need that recognition. Personal notes and foods, again, thank you, Megan, for that. Fabiola, thank you for your comment. Coordinator previously brought us in different snacks throughout the week, doing something every day.
So I think these are all great ideas. And I'm excited for those that maybe haven't done this before, because that's the whole point of this presentation, is for us to help show you different ways that are available for you to celebrate the after school professionals in your life. So I'm going to share with you the toolkit that has come from NAA, which is the National After School Association. So in their toolkit, they have all these different items that are popping up on the screen. So this is what we're going to be going through today. We're going to show you what graphics and logos are available to share on social media, how to create your own videos and see videos that have already been made, talking points that you can use to share with families, communities, and administrators, and then, you know, how to create some, you know, neat flyers and some merch, because everybody loves merch. And we'll share this as well, but you can, when we share the slides on our website, you can go to National After School Association's website and you can download this toolkit as well.
And that's naaweb.org. All right, so starting out with social media, this is really imperative right now. This is basically our lifeline to our communities and our families. We've got some interesting challenges in how we're doing everything after school these days, particularly how we're reaching out and celebrating our staff. It's harder to provide snacks to your team when everyone is in their basements at their houses and things along those lines. Kudos if you are that super ambitious administrator or program coordinator who is delivering snacks to your staff in their homes every day, or telling them to go buy some stuff or something along those lines. So really, we are going to rely very heavily on social media to make this work and to acknowledge these people and everything that they're doing. So as I mentioned, social media is really our lifeline to our families and our communities. This is how we're communicating with people right now. I've seen programs that have been doing Zoom meetings with their teens. A lot of us are doing all of our meetings on Zoom right now, or through Facebook Live, or engaging through that. So really utilize your social media platforms to get out there and to promote things and everything along those lines. For After School Professionals Week, our overall goal is to celebrate staff, but really in your social media outreach, you're going to be targeting staff, families, schools, and community partners, because we not only want our after school program staff to feel great about what they do, but we want to raise awareness. We want to talk to families about how they can celebrate this week, how they can show support for their after school professional, and things along those lines. The Zoom meeting just disappeared. Chaz, do you still have your meeting up?
Yeah, I think we're still rolling.
Okay, it's still there. Sorry, I just had a glitch. Apologies, everybody. As well as to reach out to schools and community partners. Now's a really great opportunity for schools to show that they're working in solidarity with their after-school programs and their collaborations. we're seeing a lot of after school providers working to align with what is happening during the school day online learning to make sure that everything that we're providing in virtual learning is enhancing and complementing everything that's happening during the school day. And so we want schools to be able to recognize the after school professionals and everything that they're doing there, as well as community partners. So some good ways to do this are to highlight staff, highlight the impacts that they've had on our kids and on our communities, and to share personal stories about things that are happening there. If we have kids that jump on social media and make a short video about a staff that they really love and miss, or a really fun activity that they've done, or to share pictures of activities that they've been doing and things along those lines, or to tell personal stories, either an administrator to talk about your team and personal impacts that you've seen, or to invite your after school staff to talk about why this field means so much to them. Challenges, social media challenges are great. It's a lot of fun. I'm doing one right now where I'm sharing top 10 albums that have influenced my life. Or last week, there was one about sharing pictures of your pets. Challenge people to talk about their after school experience, either staff or families around there and everything like that. I think it's a great opportunity to challenge the school to see if you could get something going. I'd love to see a school principal do a shout out about their after school program, and then to challenge another school that has an after school program to talk about that. So here I could say, Principal Elkins at North Star Elementary, I challenge you to make a post supporting your after school staff and giving them praise during after school appreciation week. And then I challenge you to challenge another school in Salt Lake City School District to do the same thing. So I'm going to make sure that after this goes live to tag Principal Elkins and help him to share the love. He's been super active on social media. So do the same thing. We could also do the same thing with other after school programs that you're aware of, or other organizations that are out there doing different work, to challenge them to talk about how after school programs are impacting their communities, and give shout outs to people and everything along those lines. People really want these types of connections right now, so take advantage of that. NAA also has a lot of great templates for social media posts that you can use, as well as good talking points there as well. You can use hashtags. Heart of After School is a national one that's being utilized, and that's being pushed by the National After School Association and the After School Alliance. And then we also have one that we use here in Utah that is hashtag Utah After School. Use that, and then we can also amplify your voices and share out your posts and let other people know how important your staff are and everything that they're doing there. Nice example there is a little mock-up that I did of an Instagram post featuring the very talented Chaz Pounder in a very handsome Boy Scout pose. Looking good, Chaz. He's so cool. Totes. And then just plug in those hashtags, and it's super easy and fun to use. And then it's great too, because then you can, if you get on Instagram, you do a search for Heart of After School, you can see all of the great stuff that's happening all over the country. So tap into this. We're all part of something bigger. It can be hard to feel that way as we're all home by ourselves right now, but you're all part of something bigger. We need to share that, and we need to really let people know exactly what we're all a part of in the work that we do. All right, Chaz?
Yeah. And by the way, I didn't see this until we reviewed it just a little bit ago. So this was a fun surprise for me as well. But just to add, Instagram is a great tool because everybody loves seeing those photos. And this is a great place to share those stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to show you some of the graphics that are available from NAA. There's a lot of different options that you can find in the toolkit. They want you to know, though, that please don't alter these graphics in any way, but you're welcome to use them, but also create your own graphics. And again, how I can share a story. On the left, you can see me with two of my former after-school students. They were twins, but this was, celebrating our end of year after school night, and just bringing back these memories. So sharing memories from previous events as well is a lot of fun, but there's a lot of graphics available, and how you can use these graphics to share a story. There's a lot of fun things you can do with them. So these are just some of the examples that are available.
All right, talking points. So again, this is a really nice opportunity to advocate for after school programs. Especially right now, we want to make sure that that anyone knows the importance of the after school field, that these positions are valued. And so we really want to make sure that throughout this week that we're working to elevate the after school profession, that we're talking about the impacts that we've had. If we have parents that are sharing their personal stories about the huge impact that their kids have helped them, that have helped with their kids, as well as things like, for me personally, if it weren't for my kids after school program, it would be very hard for me to be successful at my job. I'm seeing that right now as we're all juggling so many things and working to entertain our kids and to make sure that they're on top of their schooling and things along those lines. A lot of us would be in a much harder spot if it weren't for the programs that are out there to support our kids. So talk about how your after school program helps you to stay employed. Talk about how it helps your kids out academically, how it helps them out with their social and emotional development. If you have a personal story about how a after school provider or one of your staff has helped a kid through a really hard spot or helped the family through a really hard spot. We all have so many personal stories, and this is a great opportunity to even share a letter with a representative or something along those lines to talk about, hey, this is my after school program. This is what they've done for me. You should really be supporting these programs, or even saying something, hey, did you know that it's National After School Providers Appreciation Week? Said it so many times. I'm already getting tongue tied on it. Sorry, everybody. And let them know about that. I did the same thing for my kids' school last year. I emailed the principal and the vice principal and said, hey, you guys have such a great team. You should really be celebrating during this week. And then sure enough, we saw that they were making announcements all throughout the week. Again, if we see them using those things in social media or things along those lines, that's great. We want to draw attention to unique experiences, personal stories, impacts, and outcomes. There's so many unique experiences. After school programs are one of the only places that you could have kids that are doing art and chemistry, and then going and learning how to play the banjo or how to make a banjo or any number of different things, and applying all these different skills and things that they're learning all in one place. And so it's a very unique environment. So we want to draw as much attention to that as we possibly can. We also have a lot of national and statewide data. The After School Alliance puts out a great report every year called the America After 3 report that gives great statistics on the impacts that these programs are having, that after school professionals are having in our communities. We also have some great resources on our website as well, utahafterschool.org. If you go there, we have a whole policy page that will tell you all kinds of great data about what's happening, good talking points that you can utilize there, how to reach out to your representatives. We also have another great resource there that is called the After School Programs in Utah report. And it basically talks about local data. It talks about what exactly is happening in our state, the impacts that we're seeing here locally. It talks about some of our very own programs as well. So we encourage you to check that out, to download it. It's a great thing to email to a representative or a municipal leader or someone like that, to share that type of information. So we've got a lot of good talking points, a lot of good resources that are already pre-packaged for you to use, that you can just plug into an email or a message or a postcard or a social media status update or something along those lines.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ben, for sharing all those great talking points. And how we can use some of that information is through flyers. So this is what NAA has available. So when you go to their website, they have 3 options. So they have a generic flyer you can use. Again, it has some of this information. You can see on the screen that has an estimated 10.2 million children participate in after-school programs each year nationwide. So this is huge. But then it also has a customizable flyer where you can input your own photos and attach it to a Ways to Celebrate flyer. But I really encourage you guys to get creative here. There's a lot of great websites to use like Canva or Wix, or even using just PowerPoint or Microsoft Publisher to be able to create your own flyer, to have your own unique message of how you want to celebrate the professionals in your life. So here are a few that I made. First, we just want to celebrate joy. You can say, seeing the world through the eyes of a child is the purest joy that anyone can experience. You play an important part in celebrating that and creating that world. Thank you. And having some of your kids come in. This is one of the youth that came and participated in our after school day on the hill. He was one of the ukulele players. This is a great time just to share the joy that the kids have an after school. So you can use this flyer to have that challenge, have people post on social media and post on Instagram. And you can do like a 7-day challenge. Right now, my wife is she's an artist, and she's doing 100-day of you challenge, where she's drawing 100 different people that comment on her posts. So this is something we can do as well, like do 100-day challenge of after school. Just post a different day that how you're celebrating, or an individual that has helped. And it doesn't have to be 100 days. You can create whatever type of challenge you want. And then you could do a flyer like this. You just celebration. How will you celebrate After School Professionals Appreciation Week? And again, have that challenge online. But this is my favorite one, is to inspire. And Mr. Rogers is, one of my heroes. But I love this quote. It says, "We live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's easy to say, it's not my child, not my community, not my world, not my problem. Then there are those who see the need and respond. I consider those people my heroes, and so do we." And I kind of got this idea from the Nike ads, how they share different heroes in history. And we can do something like this to celebrate the heroes, all of you, our after school professionals, who really do make a difference. And I thought it was very timely to put this quote, because it's so easy to have people not respond, but you're the ones that respond to help kids no matter what their circumstances. And so we want you to be able to use these flyers and use these ideas to inspire others to share the great work that you're doing. So these are just a few ideas of things that you can do to celebrate and use flyers.
All right, video. So again, right now, with our social media centric world that we're all in right now, we're looking for ways to really engage and to really get traction with people. Video is something that is really a strong way to make that point, as well as a good way to really communicate exactly what you want to say. We at UAN, every year we do a video that makes us, the entire team, so uncomfortable, because we have to sit in front of a camera and we have to profess our love for the after school field. And it's just, you've got to be vulnerable, and you've got to say all of this stuff and be on camera, which makes everyone uncomfortable. But it means a lot, I think, to the individuals that are on the other side of that message, to know that UAN team made themselves so uncomfortable to say this message to us about how much we mean to them. And so we ask everyone to be equally vulnerable in that, or to share highlight videos or things along those lines. And so I've got a nice example here that comes from the National After School Association. That's just their promotional video on this week here. So, Chaz, you have to click it. Please click the video, Chaz.
They say that it only takes one caring adult, so all of these people are at least one caring adult to hundreds of kids year after year after year, and they're the linchpin of that program quality that really makes a difference in the kids' lives.
If I could say anything to the after-school world, I would talk to the frontline staff and say thank you.
Thank you for the extraordinary programs that you are running, and make sure that you shout out about them.
I thank you. We value your time. We love you, and we appreciate all that you do for our kids.
And we believe in the people that do this work and the difference that they make. They do matter.
So super easy, really pretty short. Any video that you would make would not need to be as immaculate as this one is put together. NAA has people that they pay to put those videos together, and so don't put that expectation on yourself that you'd have something of that caliber necessarily. But really, again, it comes down to just going through the effort and putting it out there, and it's a great way to heighten awareness of the field. So be creative and have fun. Encourage youth and families to share their videos. Use other platforms that are out there, like TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, or do a boomerang of your kids dancing around or something like that, and share that out. And it's something that's fun and makes people laugh, and to feel good about everything that we do. Again, video challenges, do a video and then challenge somebody else. We need the ice bucket challenge of the after school field, where we all like throw dodgeballs at each other or something along those lines. I don't know, but let's get something going with that. Talk about program highlights, talk about things that staff have done specifically, specific activities that have been particularly impactful for you, and then call out partners and other providers. We have one more video I'll show you as well here. Get to that, Mr. James. All right, this is one of my favorite videos about the after school field. It's the Ode to the Site Coordinator by Diego Arancibia. And basically, we've shown this. If you've attended Jumpstart, I think that you've seen this in the last couple of years as well. But I'd say, like, share this video and it will have the impact that you're hoping for. So let's watch that, Chaz. Uh-oh.
There we go.
I began to reflect on my career and realized that my days as a site coordinator have been arguably the most defining and most empowering of my after-school experience. I dare say that being a site coordinator prepared me for my biggest challenges of not only my career, but my life. So I write this ode in honor of the site coordinator. One who is a part-time employee with a full-time attitude, the one who has survived the bullets of lockdowns and also rose to the occasion to help 1,400 students in the midst of a teacher walkout. The one who has had to call 911 because of broken bones and at the same time worried that the family didn't have insurance. The site coordinator who realized that they are, in essence, the bridge between school and family, especially when they heard the father say, "I got the message from the school, but if I left work, I wouldn't get paid and my family wouldn't eat. Tu sabes?" The one who has spent a sleepless night in the emergency room because one of their students lay in one of those rooms. The one who can name every kid in their program along with their nickname. One who made the call to Child Protective Services, and even with the promise of confidentiality, everyone knew it was you, even the parent. But you still don't regret making the call because you took a stand for those that couldn't. The one who has heard that their former student was shot or killed in a car accident. The one who also tears up when they heard that one of their students just graduated. The one who heard that their former student who didn't have papers, didn't have a dad, and didn't do time still joined the Marines to serve his country and was shipped to Iraq. The one who can make magic happen with 200 students, 20 bucks in a 99-cent store. The one who gave their last $10 to a student so they can go on that field trip. The one who has survived countless site visits and yet still has to justify the work that they do. The one who has brought in thousands of dollars, if not millions, because of the program they run, only to be the scapegoat of disconnected administrators. The site coordinator who knows the utter excitement of finding the staff member who has it and the shot to the gut when you had to fire, let go, reassign.
Did we lose sound, Chaz?
To the site coordinator who has failed but failed forward and had the humility and courage to stand up and triumph. The one that goes by the saying of Admiral Grace Hopper, "If it's a good idea, go ahead and do it. It's much easier to apologize than it is to get permission." To the site coordinator who created a third space, not really home, not really school, but really like home and really like school. To the site coordinator who has seen their frontline staff be transformed. To the site coordinator who, in reality, is the backbone of any program, any organization, and of this movement, to you, I say, thank you.
That's a really awesome video. I've loved that one for a long time now, and I'm surprised I didn't see everyone's videos blipping out if you had to, go get some tissues or something along those lines, because it gets to the point of everything that we do and all of the hats that we all wear. I mean, after school professionals all wear 50 different hats. We're janitors. We are, triage nurses sometimes. We are chefs. We are, every single possible thing that you could be. We find that hat and we wear it. And I love that this video gets into the heart of all of that and everything. And so really it's great. So share that one or create your own things and get things going. But the idea is really just, it's really powerful, the impacts that we all have in the after school field. And we just want to be able to communicate that as well as we can and just show our appreciation for all the heart and love that people put into these programs. So, all right, Chaz.
That video is very powerful. Okay, well, now let's create some plans. Let's help you guys come up with some of your own ideas. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little breakout session. So we're going to put you guys into different breakout rooms, and for about 10 minutes, we want you guys just to have discussions on what ideas or inspiration you might have had of what you want to do to celebrate this event. So we want you guys to brainstorm with each other, come up with different ideas, and then at the end, we want you to assign a person to be a spokesperson to be able to share out some of these ideas and things that you guys came up with. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen, and I'll be splitting everybody into breakout rooms. We'll have 10 minutes to share. All right, and we're going to go now. All right, and for this group, go ahead and unmute your mics. And if you have video capability, this is a great time for you guys to share. So go ahead and just take a minute 10 minutes to come up with some ideas and share some plans. Now, hello, Kristen, did you say you have a question?
Yeah, I am wondering, can you hear me, Chaz?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, I don't think I'm able to hear responses from others on this list. So I don't know if it's microphones or maybe they stepped away for a moment, but
Yeah, I wonder if I've kind of noticed that as well in group 6. So I'm going to bounce around to all the different ones. But yeah, hopefully. Rosa is just saying, I hear everyone, but I don't have a microphone. So she's here. She just doesn't have a mic. Rosa, I would just recommend utilizing the chat here if you can. And maybe Kristen can be the spokesperson for you.
okay, cool. Awesome. Does that work for everyone? Rosa, are you good with that?
If not, Kristen, come up with some good ideas. We'll have you share. All right, I'm going to jump around to some of the others.
Better. Okay. Sounds good. I'm so glad you're here, Rosa. Good to
Easy.
Well, hello, Chaz.
Hello, I'm just checking in on everybody's group. Is everybody's mics, everything working here okay?
Yeah, we're good here.
Okay, awesome. I'll let you get back to it.
Yep. All right.
I know that if we are ever able to go back
at some point this year.
All right, I'm just checking in on group 2. Is everybody's mics, everything working okay? Looks like everybody's muted here. Are you guys able to communicate with each other? If you're having issues, feel free to use the chat. This is a great tool to use if you don't have a mic. But can everybody hear me okay in breakout room 2? All right, just got a yes from the Gmail. Okay, well, if at all possible, if you guys do have mics that you can unmute and communicate, that's what this time's for. If not, utilize the chat and share some ideas, and we'll make sure we can have a share out. So I'm going to join another breakout room, and let me know if you guys have any issues.
I get to see their faces. So how much more special it is if those kids in program can like send a video to their teacher or a picture.
You know what? I love that because we're doing the opposite now. All the teachers are sending videos, or the after school staff is sending videos to the families, but some of us haven't seen those kids. And that would be also fun for the kids to make a video for their.
Yeah, or send a note or whatever it is. Because I know like Chaz has little Scotty, and every time we see her on a Zoom call, we're like, baby, hi. Like we lose our minds, right? And so how much more special is it when it's our kids from our program?
Oh, I love that idea. That's so great. So great. So how does the information go? Do you guys give it to the districts and then it trickles down from there, or how does the chain go?
I think we'll be pushing it out, and then whoever shares it, however it goes.
The ABC or something like that. And I always, for each week, I make a video for them to refresh something they know at school. And when I put that video, I see, some fathers, some parents write to me and say, thank you, Evelyn, my kids love it, or something like that.
That's a good idea too. I like that. Yeah. Thank you. It's giving me ideas. So
I'm just checking groups, making sure mics and everything works. So it looks like you guys are doing well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was hearing. All right, I'm gonna go join another group.
Okay.
I know that back in March, I think it was
I was on the video earlier and tried to get a chat going, but no one was really talking.
No, yeah, that's one thing we've found a couple issues with.
Yeah.
So were you able to chat with any of these guys, or haven't heard from any of them?
Well, I got like a response back about like what I was saying. But that was about it. Like no one else really had ideas.
Yeah. Well, I'm here now, so let's hear some of your thoughts and some of the things that you're hearing.
I'm gonna pull the question up one more time because I forgot what it was. I just had never heard of After School Professional Appreciation Week. And I work for the Boys and Girls Club. We usually like have our parents kind of doing it more on Teacher Week, like Teacher Appreciation Week instead. So I know in the past, like we had the teens at our center make boxes for each teacher, like a personalized box, and then in front of the box was like a little label that would say like, these are all the things that this teacher enjoys, and then the parents would come and fill our boxes with those kinds of things and like gift cards to places we liked and that kind of stuff. But doing it from home, we've been making virtual videos every week for the kids and showing them like activities that we're doing at home. And so I was thinking it would be kind of fun if next week during the videos we kind of highlighted the staff and talked about what we appreciate about them,
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, but other than that,
An idea I have, and I don't know how well this would even work out. But one thing I've noticed, just being on social media myself, I've seen a lot of people for LDS missionaries coming home that they've had the neighbors drive around honking their horns and saying,
Yeah.
"Welcome home." How cool that would be if we invited all our providers to go stand outside of our buildings and
Yeah.
families and other people in the community come and do a little mini parade for after school.
Yeah. That
So,
would be super awesome.
but trying to orchestrate that event, I could see could be a little challenging. But if somebody
Yeah.
needs to do it, I think that'd be really cool. And
It would be.
and I think utilizing our the media as well. I've noticed that one of the Boys and Girls Clubs here up north, um, they had the Standard Examiner talk about all the virtual programming they're doing, and I wish they would have it's like, oh, this would have been a great opportunity for them to talk about Professionals Week as well and have a message there. So yeah, I love that idea though, and so yeah, I would really recommend seeing how you can get that happening, man.
I think so too. And I've been loving like making the videos from home and everything. It's just kind of hard because we're not reaching that many people, you know? So it makes it in a way feel like we're not doing much because like there's only a few of our kids showing up for Zoom chats and like I don't know, but still like they're really fun to do and hopefully we're like trying to find ways to reach more people, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Well, I'm gonna go check on a few more groups, and then we're gonna be wrapping up really in the next minute or so.
sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you.
They missed it, that I had put effort into it and I did my own kind of a thing and I did my own through the community ed, but later on they did do an ice cream kind of social, and that was kind of hard because it was after the fact. And I do understand the importance of doing it during the week, and I think because it is so brand new, not a lot of people get it. So I do understand how it is important that we should build upon it so that each year there's more recognition.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hello. I'm just checking in on each of the groups and just sending a message out that we're going to be ending in 1 minute.
Okay. Let's see. So Fabiola says, Connie's always great at remembering and celebrating, so she gets us gifts the whole week, coffee, donuts, candy, etc. She's really great and makes us feel appreciated. She is great. So who wants to report back from our group? I think Chad asked if one person could report back. Maybe Maxine, since you're able to talk, is that okay? Or if Alicia and Fabiola would like to, you guys can just type it in the chat. Report out on like some of our ideas.
Yeah, I'm here to support any way I can.
Okay, is our group okay if Maxine does it? Is that okay? Thumbs up. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Maxine.
You can do.
Any more luck, Kristen, or?
Sorry.
Were you guys able to have a couple?
We're just using the.
Awesome. Great. Well, yeah, I noticed two of our other groups, didn't really work. Somehow every single person that didn't have audio was put into that group. So we'll see what comes of it. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and end our groups now.
It's cool. So I'm actually able to interact with almost over 20 kids every day.
Great.
To keep an eye on them and see if they need anything for school or anything. So I am still communicating, just not with my after school kids.
Right. Well, that's great that you've got some contact still with some kids.
Yeah, it's actually been pretty good. So
Good. Excellent.
it doesn't taste good.
Hey, Chaz, we were just killing some time for a minute while we waited for everyone else to rejoin, and it looks like we are all accounted for here. You're muted.
There we go. Okay. Well, I was able to join some of the groups, and it sounds like we had some great conversations, and we'd love to hear from some of you. I noticed that groups 8, 6, and 4 had some issues with the audio, and looks like some of them were able to communicate with the chat, which was great. So we'd love to hear from some of you guys. So could we have a spokesperson from group 1 share about some of the ideas that you talked about?
Is that me? Oh.
Does everyone remember what groups they were in?
Yeah, we were in group 1. We didn't really talk about a spokesperson though. All right, so we talked a lot about in general that we like getting things from the kids, like the kids telling us what they enjoy, what they like, and we definitely talked about how do we do this right now with our staff and with each other to show appreciation. One of the things we talked about was the idea of like doing a lunch, but doing it on Zoom. So we all are having lunch together at the same time and just having time to chat and enjoy each other's company during lunchtime. So we kind of were talking about like just thinking outside the box of what we would normally be doing. How do we make it work right now? Susie and Christian, did I miss anything that you guys wanted to say?
No, I think that was kind of it.
Okay.
Well, that sounds awesome. I love the idea of a Zoom lunch. I'm all about that. Group 2. Do we have a spokesperson from group 2? Remember if you were in group 2.
I don't
remember the groups.
Okay, well, I know Maxine was in group 7 for sure. So Maxine, would you mind sharing what your group talked about?
Thank you. Yeah, for group 7, first of all, I like that Zoom meeting idea. Unfortunately, with Salt Lake City School District, we're not allowed to use Zoom because of we're using Teams. But I love that idea. I think that's a really good idea. So we've talked about what we did in the past, and then Kelly posed the question of like, what would we appreciate? And then also making sure that our supervisors know that next week is Appreciation Week, and then how we each came up with different ideas. One idea was that maybe I could do a task or do something that like pay it forward kind of a thing for my group leaders or my coordinators, because we all have professional development we have to do, and I could maybe like take on one of their responsibilities so they could still have credit for it. We talked about how we could possibly, one of our other people in our group talked about how we could call up and check in on everybody, or reach out and check into them, check in and make sure that they're doing okay, and just following up and seeing their status and reaching out to them. And then we also talked about how I could make a Giphy and send it to them, like one that's special just for their site or just for them. And then we talked about what we've done in the past, and how like Kelly had made really cute plants to give out to her groups in the past. This said something like, "Thank you for helping After School grow." And then we're just talked about all the different ways we have celebrated in the past, and then what because of our new challenges, right? What could we do in the future? And it's kind of hard to come up with ways to tell people that you care and you appreciate all their hard work. So I'm glad that we are having this breakout session.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, and this is why we're doing this, because we do have a big challenge, and getting more creative than we've ever had to before. Mikkel, you were in group 4 and kind of really the main spokesperson and the president of audio. Would you like to share what you talked about?
Sure. I was just kind of talking about that. I think it would be fun. I work for Boys and Girls Club, and we've been doing videos online for our kids. And I think it would just be kind of fun to like in our videos highlight other staff. And then I also had the idea of highlighting like our CEO as well, because they've done a lot of work to make it so that we can be working from home and still be getting paid. So I really want to make sure I highlight them as well.
Absolutely. I love that too. Yeah. To make sure we're representing everyone in our field, not frontline staff, coordinators, administrators, families, community leaders, everyone.
Yeah. They're
Awesome.
working really hard to get us funding still. So we need to show appreciation,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. We have just a minute or two more to share.
We just open it up for who wants to share from the
Yeah,
group?
we'll just open it up now. I think that's great.
Well, group 6 kind of talked about how some parents have reached out and said how much they appreciated what after school has done, that their kids are really missing us. And so it's like that by us not being there, now they've seen the effect that we've had on their kids and the work that we've done. And so the idea was suggested that maybe for Appreciation Week, that as staff, for those people who have reached out to us, maybe we could get them to like maybe do like a little blurb on Facebook or do a shout out to the after school program on social media, just to highlight the work that we've done. Also, someone mentioned that staff can also recognize staff, and that's just a good way to keep the good vibes going in-house. And then I can't remember what my suggestion, oh yeah, my suggestion was just piggybacking off of the idea of the social media shout outs, because within each individual after school program, everyone has their own media that they're using. I know at DEAR we're using Class Dojo. We can communicate with parents, and we obviously everyone can email students, but just doing shout outs on Facebook, just taking it out to a broader network so that other people can see the work that's still going on behind the scenes.
I love that, Gloria. Thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome. Great ideas. Anyone else?
I can share from, I think it was 3. I don't remember, honestly. They mentioned reaching out to the principal because their principal's having a weekly newsletter. So like now's the chance to get that in next week's newsletter. And getting some attention maybe to some people who aren't employed right now. So maybe like they use aides through the school who've kind of been sent home. So making sure that they're getting a shout out so that they still feel that connection to the program. With that though, another person mentioned that they feel closer to their school a little bit because they've had a lot of interaction with teachers. So they feel a little more ready to make those asks to be like, hey, it's this week. Can you thank our after school people? Because the teachers are more aware of what after school was offering their kids. And the other last thing we talked about was getting kids and family to reach back into your staff. So getting to see those kids' faces with like a thank you note or picture. So that was our group.
So cute. That's awesome. Thank you, Eleanor. And thank you for everyone that shared, just now or also through the chat and in your groups. Before we go back to our slide presentation, I just want to share just an idea that I had, talking to Mikhail in group 4. One thing I've noticed on social media quite a bit are those car parades, a lot for Easter or return missionaries, where they have them stand out front and cars just drive by honking with posters and signs. So if you can do this, again, following all the social distancing, requirements, but have your staff stand outside of your facility and invite the community to come out to honk their horns and, just in the cars to shout and celebrate the professionals, and maybe have a little goodie bag on a table where the providers can come and just grab it and leave. So again, we can follow social distancing, but that could be a great way for people to come out in the community as well to celebrate. So again,
Hey, sorry. Can I throw something out really fast?
Yeah.
So another idea for you guys for something for next week, maybe you could do as a staff. There is a presentation from an astronaut in a virtual event, and he's going to be talking to people about the importance of developing critical thinking skills, which of course we all want our kids to have. But it's a question and answer. He'll talk to you about like his adventures in space and what he saw and what he did. It might be a fun like shared experience for you guys to do together.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw the link up for you guys with the password. And then if you want to do that, cool. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah,
just,
that's a fun
just
idea.
one note, one note from the comment box as well is that we did have someone say that they had tried to coordinate a drive-by well-wishing, but they actually were told that they shouldn't do that by authorities or the police department. I'm not sure. So if you want to do something like that, we'd encourage you to maybe reach out to any officials just to make sure that it'll be all right, or the best way to do it so that people aren't putting themselves at risk or anything along those lines.
Yep, agree. Make sure, again, these are all just ideas, and make sure, follow social distancing guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thanks, everyone. We'll go ahead and wrap up. All right, take it away, Ben.
Okay, great. Does anyone have any questions? A lot of this is, a lot of these are resources that we've shared out that I think that you can access really easily there. So again, make sure you just check out those resources. Check out our website, youthafterschool.org, the National After School Association, naaweb.org, or the After School Alliance, which I believe is just afterschoolalliance.org. They have lots of good stuff, lots of good language you can use, other suggestions and tips and things along those lines. All right.
I just got asked what time it was. Sorry, I forgot to tell you guys that. It is Friday, April 24th from 9:30 to 10:30 Mountain. That's all.
Great. Thank you. All right. Well, I think we move on, Chaz.
Okay, I'm just looking at the chat real quick, but all right. And great question, and some of these questions we might answer after.
Yeah, and I did just throw this in as well. So what we're doing at UAN, how we're going to be promoting things and recognizing all of you after school professionals is we're doing our own after school spirit week. A lot of us just participated in a school spirit week as school started closing to just help everyone be in solidarity with one another and to do something fun all collectively. So to just run you through some of that, Monday will be Spirit Monday. Change your profile picture to your program badge, post your program's t-shirt or logo, show off your program. So I have like a old program coordinator badge from when I was running Boys and Girls Club, and I'm gonna make my profile picture and maybe my photo for UAN's website or something along those lines. Tuesday is Play Day. Share your favorite activity from your program. This is a great opportunity to share a video of maybe a program highlight or photographs, things along those lines. We have our after school nugget on Tuesday that will be games that you can share and play as well that will tie into this. We're still here Wednesday. It's really hard to read the small writing on these. So how are you spending this time? What's your program doing at this time? So basically talking about your virtual efforts that you're doing, any program outreach that you have or something along those lines. Thank you note Thursday, send a note, picture, or video to your program staff and let them know how much you appreciate and miss them. Another suggestion that I had in our group was to even send a actual physical letter to program staff or a postcard or something like that. Like someone commented in the mail in our group before, they're like, all I get are bills in the mail. And so how nice would it be to get a break from your bills and to get a nice letter from a coworker or from your supervisor talking about how much they appreciate you and seeing that they had taken the time to hand write you a note. That's huge. I don't know, people know how to handwrite notes nowadays, so do that. Flashback Friday, share your favorite after school memory. I know I've got a whole folder full of cool art projects that I've had from kids. Even one of my old club members sent me a message reminding me of a time we went to a haunted house, and she was like clinging to my shirt for life, and it was so fun to hear from her on that. So any current or past members that you can encourage to share memories, or you share your own memories and things along those lines. And then again, we'd love to see anything that you're all doing. Make sure in any of your posts, any of your social media, any of that, use the hashtags Utah After School and Heart of After School for those as well, so that we can again amplify your message, share it, see it, and things along those lines. So look for all of that. We'll have a newsletter that will come out on Monday that will go into a deeper explanation, as well as a live video that will talk about all of this next week. So stay tuned for those. Lastly, thank you all so very much for joining us today. It was great to talk with all of you and to hear all of your ideas. And there is a QR code here. Please use this QR code to complete a brief survey and receive your certificate of completion. I know that some of you are still able to get compensated for your time in attending these trainings, so please do that. There's also a spot in there for you to give us any feedback on the session, or if there's something that you would like to see us provide an additional training on, please let us know what you'd like to see more of here. You can always email us as well. You can see Chaz and my emails here. You can email us at info@utahafterschool.org as well. Send us messages on Facebook. Give us a call or a text. We love hearing from people too. We're all in seclusion in our houses, and we just want to hear from people and know that you're all out there and everything like that too. So thank you everybody for attending. It was great chatting with you, and it was inspiring for me as well to hear about how passionate you are about supporting the people that you all work with. So thank you all for what you do. Thank you for working in the after school field, and thank you for thanking your people.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you. And Ben, can we throw the link, the survey link, into the chat box as well?
Yeah.
You have access to that?
Give me just a moment and I'll do that so you can access it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for everyone for joining us. This is the end of our presentation. Me and Ben and some of the other OSTs will stay online for a little bit. If you have any additional questions or side conversations you'd like to have, we'll stay on. But thank you for joining us today. And again, we hope to see you for our next one on Tuesday. And go out and celebrate.